The latest podcast episode that I just dropped was all about receiving. So basically, how to be ready for the things that you want and you ask for in your life. So I used a few examples. First of all, if you haven't heard it, please find me on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts at Ask Tiara. Okay, so I used a couple examples to talk about it, really simple ones, but let's think about when you go clothes shopping or food shopping, right? When you go to the store, you do not walk in there with a bunch of shit in your hands. Why? Because your hands need to be free to pick up the things that you want and take them home with you. Okay? And my favorite example is, what about when you want to buy new furniture? Let's say you want to buy a new couch. What do you need to do to get the couch, right? You need to either save or, prepare yourself to be able to purchase it. You go to the store or you order it online. But before the couch arrives, what do you have to do? You have to get rid of the old couch. Maybe you donate it, you give it away, or you just throw it away. No matter how you do it, you need to clear a space for the new couch to reside, right? And if you're like me, when you get rid of the old couch, you're gonna wash the floors and wipe the walls down and scrub the baseboard so that you have this nice clean space ready for this new piece of furniture. And it's funny that we treat, the physical things in our life with more care sometimes than we do the spiritual, emotional, or mental things that we want in our life, right? So it's like we treat our house one way, but how do you treat your emotional house, right? Do you, when you're asking for something or thinking about it or putting it into the universe, do you first think of all the steps that you need to prepare to get it? And more importantly, do you clear that path and that space so that you are ready to receive and have a space for all these things that you want to reside? A lot of times we don't. And that's the point of it. It's such a simple concept, but it's really, really something that you need to be mindful of. Another example that really is what started all of this in my mind years and years and years ago. I can't even tell you how long ago it was. But a friend of mine was in a relationship she got married when she was pretty young, married before I did. And, she really wanted that relationship to work out, that marriage, and it didn't. Okay. So she was I felt like she was down for a little while and she moved out of state. But then this one day, like a couple years later, I saw her posting these photos of her and her new husband. I was like, oh my God. And honestly, I could see from the photos that she was just so happy. The happiness was like seeping out of her post. So I called her and I asked her, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, you look so happy. Like, how did this happen? Or, tell me the story, break it down. And I will never forget that she said to me that she was like, girl, I had to do some work on myself, but I knew the kind of love that I wanted, the relationship I wanted in my life. So I had to prepare for it and make space for it. And I never, ever forgot that. And that's when I started thinking about like all the other things that I want in my life. Like, let's say, beauty products, right? Like skincare products. I'll have something that doesn't really, I'll buy something and it works and then it doesn't really work anymore or as good as it did. So I'm like, okay, I need to buy something new. And before I used to hold on to something that wasn't working anymore. I'm like, you know what? I invested in it. So I'm just going to use it until it runs out. And then I'll get something that really works, which before used to make sense to me because I'm like, I spent money on it. I might as well use it. But if it's not serving its purpose, why am I holding on to it? Why am I still using it? So I stopped doing that. So I no longer do that. If something is not working for me, I get rid of it, right? So I don't let it take up space in my little precious drawer of all the things that I need on a daily basis. I get rid of it. And then I wait. Sometimes I might have to save up for a really expensive product that I want. But it doesn't matter because what I had wasn't working. So I just prepare myself for the next thing that I want, get rid of what wasn't working anymore or that I didn't want so that I have this space available for what I want and what I need or what I think I need. And that is now how I treat the things that I don't ask for things, I don't pray for things, but I put my thoughts out into the universe. So now when I am thinking about the things that I want mentally, spiritually, emotionally, how I want to, treat my emotional house, I do what? I prepare for it and I make space for it.